What's up, maths gamers? I have got here for us a replay from the Funday Monday. This is Dyspraxia versus Noah's Ark. Make no mistake, those are not the names of the gamers. Those are the names of the handicaps that they're going to be playing with. I'm not entirely sure what these handicaps are, but I think Dyspraxia means you've got to play with the mouse in your other hand, so left-handed if you're a right-handed player, or vice versa, and with various other things going on. Noah's Ark, I think, means that you must build 2 of everything, 2 by 2 by 2. So let's see how they get on. Let's introduce the players. Here I have in the bottom right the Protoss player, NemesisFire. NemesisFire, by the way, was the winner of last year's Novice Scrap Tournament. Up in the top left, I have got TheRealOG, the Zerg player. I don't know which one is playing on which handicap. Let's see if we can work it out by how guff or otherwise they are. So, let me get the production tab up in the top left for us as per normal. I forgot to change the view of this panel, so this is just the normal StarCraft panel, but that's okay, it's good enough for me. As always, I've got the supply in the top right, I've got the supply in the top right, I've got the minerals that the player is currently holding, next to that the gas that they have got, etc. In the top left I can see what each player is building, for those of you that are new to this sort of thing. The other things I can do is I can pop between the views of the individual players, and I can of course change the things that I'm looking at. For example, I can do that, which is done stuff. Well, didn't do what I thought it was going to do, but you know, anyway. Maybe it's... no. I thought I could get the APM of the players up. I can, but I thought I could get it up across the screen in the same way that I can get this across the screen. I'm sure I can, if only I could remember the keyboard shortcut. Anyway, let's have a look at what NemesisFire is building. These APMs, look at these. Look at these. That's what I'm talking about. That's why he won last year, isn't it? He is everywhere. Now, I'm not sure if the Dyspraxia play would help your APM much. I think if I was left-hand mousing, I'd be clicking everywhere on the screen trying to get to what I wanted to do happen. Right up here in the top left, what have we got going on? We have got some stuff building. We've got a queen building, we've got speed upgrading for the lings. Notice that the Evo chamber is done, but no research being done by that at present, no upgrades being researched. Let's follow these lings around for a little bit. No, I'm sure I can, what? Oh, there we go. Yeah, lovely. Some little lings running across the map here. Let's see what they get up to. The production tab also shows a forge being built by the Protoss player, and +1 weapons is being upgraded, so that must be his second forge, and indeed it is. So 2 forges done. Does that... oh, so is he doing the 2 by 2? Is that what's happening here? Is it 2 by 2? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. For some reason I don't seem able to scroll very effectively at all. I don't know why. Anyway, that's better. Does it apply to buildings as well? Does he have to build 2 buildings, 2 of every building? I'm not sure. There is a Stargate coming down here. This worker looks like it's getting ready to expand. Over here we've got the Overlord coming in to have a look around. Up here we've got Lair coming down for the Zerg player. That will enable further upgrades to happen. This is the Roach Warren just finishing up, so we also see the +1 attack coming in for the Zerg over there. So it's all kicking off. Both players just building up to good stuff. Oh, look at them go! Crazy amounts of APM being fired down here. All sorts of keys being buried. Looks like this Overlord is gonna die. So hopefully OG got valuable scouting in. Oh, good. Yeah, indeed. I don't think there's any need for that, is there? any need for that at all. Hopefully he got some valuable scouting information. It is a pain to lose an Overlord at this stage. So 2 Zealots, 2 Sentries, does look like this is our Noah's Ark player with his 2x2 style. That means that OG must be playing left-handed. Of all of the handicaps, I don't like the sound of that much at all. That's a whole bundle of lings though that he's got. The Roach Warren not researching anything, and he does have a lair, so he is ready to research these upgrades for roaches, and those are key upgrades in particular. Speed is a key upgrade. Okay, yeah. Looks like, what is he turning these into? Are these going to be overseers? No, these are going to be overlords capable of carrying units. Once you have, I think it's an Evo chamber you need to be able to do that. You can turn an overlord into, well, it remains an overlord, but into something that is capable of transporting units in a similar way to the Terran Medevac can. Of course, overlords travel much slower, but once you have the lair, you have the option of researching this upgrade here, which will allow you to speed up those overlords. So I wonder what he's going to do to those. I don't know if that's related to his handicap, that he has to fly stuff in. I don't know. I didn't really read the handicap list. Let's have a look. Look, the APM's still nuts. Spending, I didn't want that. I want production. We have +1 shields coming down for the Protoss. He is building Phoenix. What I'd like to see, though, unless you're going to pull a bundle of Phoenix, which he's not, he's only allowed to build 2. There's no point in hiding the first one. If you know you're against a Zerg, Phoenix are really good at just flying around the map, picking off overlords wherever they find them. So I'd like to see the Phoenix out doing that, although this particular Zerg player, this is where you'll find his overlords, all within his base. Still though, a few overlord kills wouldn't go astray. 2 Phoenix is enough to kill an overlord reasonably quickly. They would be taking fire from the Queen if they flew in there, but of course if you've got 2, one could pick up the Queen just to annoy it, the other one could harass those overlords, and just give the Zerg something to think about with that. This force at the front door should be able to see this off, to be honest, with relatively straightforwardly, because the 2 sentries are here, so 2 sentries with full energy can pretty easily force field this whole area. You've got the 2 cannons providing DPS. The mothership core has 2 pylons that it can overcharge. You've got the 2 Phoenix will be able to lift 2 of the roaches anyway and take them out of the equation. So I'd be now with the Immortal and the Void Ray, this Protoss force will definitely crush that. Or at least should, because roaches are roaches are considered armored, right? And both the Immortal and the Void Ray do bonus damage to armor. So these Immortals are great against roaches, and Voids are pretty good against roaches as well once the prismatic alignment is enabled. So I wouldn't expect an attack from that force to be successful just yet. However, looking up here in the production tab, Protoss is busily trying to get his... Oh, here we go. I don't know what's going on with the scrolling here. For some reason, I can't seem to scroll properly at all. I want to see force fields. I want to see some force fields come down. You want to hold that stuff out. Now you want to stop it escaping. I'd like to see force field, I'd like to see guardian shields, but other than that, it's a good engagement from the Protoss. Seize that off. Those weakened roaches, good opportunity there to pick up both of those with the Phoenix, and then you can just kill them, because they will regenerate pretty quickly. So any damage you can do when your opponent is retreating is a bonus. It's just one more thing they have to spend their money on, one less larva that they've got. Okay, so this bit is not saturated, interestingly, but we are reasonably into the game, so I'd expect both these bases to be saturated. He spelt it right this time. I hope he's typing that left-handed. Yeah. I don't know. What have we got building now? Carriers. Everybody wants to see a carrier. I'd also he must have a fleet beacon if he's building a carrier, so I'd very much like to see this mothership core. Maybe he's typing left-handed. I'd very much like to see this mothership core become a full mothership. That would please me a great deal. Why? I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know, man. Has my mouse gone funny or something? That seems okay. every now and again it just seems to lag on the scroll. Anyway, you guys don't need to know about that. That's for me to worry about. What have we here? A couple of corruptors. Corruptors pretty good against all things air, really. Corruptors do a reasonable amount of damage and they're remarkably tough. They are hard to take down. They do bonus damage against massive, which is very, very useful if you're playing against carriers, and he is, whether he knows it or not. So this carrier will fall pretty quickly to corruptors, but you are going to need more than just 3, I feel. But this roach force looks reasonably formidable. Let's have a look at the army supply. So significant advantage for the Zerg player. If we look at the upgrades, we can see that there is +1 for both players in terms of attack. The Protoss also has +1 armor and +1 shield. The Zerg has got roach speed and has got ling speed, but there's no lings in this force. No hydralisk speed just yet. These are the hydralisks here. They are the only things he has here that directly shoot up. Of course the corruptors shoot air, and in addition to that, these ravagers that he has turned these roaches into kind of lob stuff up into the air. Oh, okay. That corrosive violence the ravagers are throwing up is doing all sorts of damage to everything. It is very, very effective if you allow it to land. This carrier is desperately training interceptors, because I think the corrosive fog from those ravagers kill all the... You need to move this stuff because it is going to fall to that corrosive fog. Yeah, as you can see, these shoot stuff up into the air, and you have to wait for it to come back down, but he taps out. Well, you know, I can't help a feeling he might have held that, but he has tapped out. Well, I am surprised. Look at that! Did we just see 200 APM? Are you kidding me? Yeah, I mean, there weren't that many units left. If he could have squeezed out another Void Ray, bearing in mind, given that one had died, surely he's allowed to build the next. Oh, there is a carrier building, and they take so long. I think I've been tempted to cancel the carrier and just chrono the Void Ray. He has GG, but he doesn't appear to be quitting. He's got these two desperately trying to do stuff. But you know, you've got all this money in the bank, so you can warp in a couple of stalkers. This needs to be building an immortal, there needs to be another mothership core building, and none of those things are happening. So I think he very much has given up. And there it is. GG. Look at that. Look at that for a closing screen. 232 APM. TheRealOG clearly spamming everything like a boss. What was in the production tab? 12 roaches. So, yeah, man. Let's just take a look at the EPM. Oh, boom. You're killing me here. 220. That is a serious amount of holding down the R button. Very well played. Yeah, I thought that was pretty good fun. I thought that was decent. GG.